How's it going, bros? My name is Arshia. My name is Arshia Kahani. But today, we're reviewing PewDiePie's new open source software, Odysseus. Let's get right into it. Welcome to Odysseus. Now, this is the brand new open source software from none other than the famous YouTuber PewDiePie. I guess he has too much time on his hands nowadays because he created an AI harness. Now, what this is a platform for you to have the ease and convenience of all your favorite things like agent mode, web search, having tools, MCP servers, and so on and so forth, while doing it on a locally hosted model. So at the same time, you have your privacy, but usually when it comes to self-hosting your own models, if you want to add a simple MCP server, you got to go through so many different configs and making your own MCP server, making sure it works, making sure all the API keys works, and so on and so forth. Where here with Odysseus, you're kind of getting a very easy to use user interface. Now, right off the bat, this looks a lot like something like ChatGPT, right? So if you look at the left-hand corner, we have a menu bar. So here you can see new chat. Then you have your normal chat bot. So hello, how can I assist you today? So very nice. We have our chat bot. Now, this is running locally on my computer, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. But alternatively, if you want to have these smaller local models, but you don't want to use your own computer's resources, it kind of gives you a bit of privacy, but at the same time, you are technically hosting it somewhere else, but still, it's a nice thing to know. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So let's go through some of the buttons we have here. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I haven't actually gone through any of this, so we're going to experience it together. So we got an email button. All emails, click as a document. Okay, mail operation failed. Oh, okay, so we can make integrations. So we can add integration, type, let's go email. Okay, so we can add an IMAP email system here. So we can have our Outlook here, for example, or something similar. That's cool. We have a bunch of different integrations. So I can see we have Claude Code, so a Claude agent, any kind of API service. So we could technically connect FlowHunt and add some automation flows in here. That would be really cool. Email servers and of course MCP tool servers. That's awesome. That's great. So you can use all of this with your locally hosted model. That's great. So that's how you use the email. I don't want to do that right now because I'm sure it will take a little bit of time. Then we have tools, okay? Brain, let's see what it is. Okay, so this is where you would see your memories, your skills. I see, okay. You can add skills manually, that's great, that's awesome. You can add memories. Okay, so maybe you can extract all your memories from another platform and then import them here. That would work, that would be really nice. The thing is, the more you use these LLM models, the better they get. Like, it gets to a point where they have so many memories of you where you don't have to remind them of anything, right? It's like, oh yeah, I remember 3 months ago you wanted to, like, I don't know, lose weight. So it kind of remembers and keeps that in the back of your mind. And I think the best way you can use a platform like Odysseus is to have it as a very personal assistant. So it would manage your calendar, it would manage your personal things like your, I don't know, diet or your personal meetings or errands and so on. Because these sort of personal things we really don't want to share with anyone else, but at the same time, it doesn't actually require a lot of computing power to automate these and to manage these. So this is like a perfect platform to have a personal assistant, because at the same time, you have full privacy. Everything is running on your own computer. Nothing is leaving your computer. So if you want to have your very personal data, like your social security number or your bank account information or anything like that, of course, it's never suggested for you to do that, but it's a lot safer to do it locally on your computer rather than actually sending it to a third-party application, right? So this is really a very nice platform to do something like that. So it's very refreshing and nice to see that it actually supports memories and skills, because when you are using this platform as a personal assistant, it's going to keep on racking on memories and memories and memories and memories. And at some point, it's just going to remember so many things about you that it's going to be really, really personalized and easy to use over time. So that's awesome. That's great. The brain section is a really nice thing. Now, the next thing we have is a calendar. Okay, so it's not any kind of integration. So this isn't like Google Calendar or anything like that. It's its own calendar. So it has its own built-in calendar functionality. So I have to try that out later. But that's nice, because if you are using it as a personal assistant, I guess you can have everything in the same place. So you can just go over here and be like, hey, I'm going on a date on Friday, so add that to my calendar, and it would automatically be here. I mean, I would say that it's definitely possible to integrate Gmail and Google Calendar somehow into this as well, but I will have to mess with this and see if it's actually possible. Okay, we have a model comparison. So this is, I only have one model installed, so I can't really show you how you can do that, but that's a cool thing. So you can have two different models and you can try them out. So I guess this is for like starting off with Odysseus, when you want to try out different models and see which one's better for you. Now, I think the coolest selling point of Odysseus is the cookbook. That is where you are able to actually see what models you can run on your hardware, right? So if I click on the cookbook here, you can see we have a very big list of models down here. And these are models that I can run perfectly. So as you can see, these are very tiny models. So 8 billion parameters, 3 billion parameters, 2 billion parameters, 5 billion parameters. So very, very small models. Now, the bigger ones, some things that have 12 billion, 14 billion, it says that it's going to be marginal. I am running on a MacBook Air, so this isn't anything that's going to blow anyone's mind. Of course, if you're on the Pro, or if you have your own Linux system with a very beefy graphics card or anything like that, it's going to be much better, right? But I'm a MacBook Air, and I think the best model that I can run perfectly is going to be the LFM2 8 billion parameter model, because it scored the highest out of all the other ones. The speed is okay. The context size is quite big, so 125,000 tokens, and it's going to use 6.8 gigabytes of VRAM, which is pretty moderate. It's going to be quite okay, because this computer has, I think, 11 or 12 gigabytes of VRAM, so we're all golden. So the way you can see how you can run your own computer, you can come down here, and there is a scan button. You can click on it. It detects all your hardware, so Apple M2, 10.7 gigabytes of VRAM available, 11.2 out of 16 gigabytes of RAM, 8 cores, and metal. So it gathers all of the information from your computer, and it suggests some models for you. Now, the best part about all of this is that instead of having to, for example, installing Ollama and then hosting your own model separately on a Docker and then adding it here with a base URL and an API key, you can just basically click on any of these models here, and you can click on download. When you click on download, download failed. Okay, there we go. So you can click on download, and in the running tab, you're going to be able to see, okay, my model is being downloaded. Now, of course, I don't want to download this one because I already have one downloaded for me, one that I really like. So I'm going to stop that one. But basically, you can download a model as easy as that. You can go to the server tab. I'm just going to remove this because I don't want it here. Delete, delete, done. So this is the one I have. You can click on the three buttons here and click on serve. So here you can actually configure how you want your model to be. Okay, so it's going to use my virtual environment. What is the context? So we have a 20,000 context limit, for example. We have all these different configurations, like how many messages in parallel should it compute, what is the main GPU. You can set it here. It also includes auto profiles, so quality, balanced, and speed. Now, I'm gonna go with quality, and once you do that, you can click on save. Let's call it Lara quality. Okay, you can click on save. And now, if I go back, you're gonna be able to see here, this is actually the locally hosted version of whatever I do in the cookbook. So whatever server I have running here, it's gonna be the one I'm gonna see over here. So right now, the Apple Foundation model, this is LoRa quality, right? So I saved the configuration on that one, and this is the one I'm talking to. So now it actually should take a longer time to respond. What can you do? We actually didn't check the first one to see how long it took. Okay, it does take longer to respond. The other one was pretty much basically instant. Cool. All right. Okay, let's go back to the cookbook and see what else we have here. We have some dependencies. Okay, so these are, this is depending on what you want to run your LLM on. So for example, if you do want to do Docker, you can do that. There are some dependencies needed to use every single thing that Odysseus has to offer. So you have a very nice UI here that you can just easily install every single one of them, as easy as that, and it's going to be locally installed on your computer. Okay, so the cookbook is absolutely awesome. This is my favorite thing about Odysseus so far. Then you have deep research, which I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't want to do that on a very small model here on my computer, and I probably don't have the dependency for that, so we're going to have to come back to that in a later video. We have a gallery where you can upload images. Okay, so I would assume this is like some sort of a context. You have an image editor. Oh, okay, interesting. So it looks like a productivity section for LLMs. That's nice. You can have your own projects. You can add some images and so on. Okay, cool, I guess. What is Notes? Notes is your basic to-do list, and also where reminders are managed. Oh, all right. So again, we come back to it again. If you want a personal assistant that locally runs on your computer, here you go. You have a to-do list. You have tasks that you can create. Wow, this is really good. This is starting to look like a really, really promising personal assistant. I definitely wouldn't use this to, I don't know, code or anything like that. But when it comes to personal day-to-day life LLMs, this is pretty cool actually. Here you can change your theme, cyberpunk. That's pretty cool. All right, this is more like a Claude look, I suppose. GPT look. Wow, I really like this. It's really personalized and really nice. I really do dig the Claude colors, so I think I'm gonna stick with that one. Yeah, let's go with Claude. All right, so that's what we can do now. So far, I showed you how to host your own model using the cookbook, right? Now there's another model. So if you go to build.nvidia.com, build a developer account here, and you will be able to access API keys, right? So if I go here, click on generate API key, it's going to generate a new key for me. I can copy this base URL here. Now, basically, you don't have to use DeepSeek. That's just the one I chose. You can go to the models, choose whatever you want, right? It's gonna add all of the models anyways, so it doesn't really matter. DeepSeek, let's just for now just go for DeepSeek. V4 Flash or V4 Pro, doesn't matter. Generate API key. We're gonna copy the base URL. Go back to Odysseus. We can click on the model here, and then you can see a plus button over here. We can click on that one, and I'm gonna go, I already have a locally hosted model. I'm gonna go to the API section. So I'm gonna click on the base URL, paste it there, copy the API key, again, paste it in the API key section, boom. I can test it online, found 120 models. So I can click on add, and at the very bottom, you can see that I have two different models here. So one is a proxy, it's an API, and one is locally hosted on my machine. Very nice. So now when I do click on this model button, you can see I have a lot of different options, right? Now do keep in mind, this is not locally hosted on your machine. This is an NVIDIA feature that is free for now. And you can basically use their computing power to host locally hosted models. So I can go to ChatGPT OSS. Hello, what are you? Right? Processing results. Thinking. Now this is a much bigger model, so do keep that in mind. Hello, I'm ChatGPT, an AI-powered language model created by OpenAI. I can help you with information, answer questions, brainstorm ideas, write drafts, and solve problems. That is cool. All right, so let us actually see if, I don't know if I need a dependency on that. I should probably install all the dependencies, but I don't know if I can do web search. Are you able to perform web searches? Processing results. It didn't look like. Yeah. Okay, wait. It did. I don't have the ability to run a fresh web search right now. I can only work with the information that's been supplied to me. Like the search results you see. Okay, I see. Or with the knowledge I was trained on. Okay, interesting. All right, cool. So I guess I need to install some dependencies to be able to use all the different features that are here. So don't make my mistake, go to the settings and install all the dependencies needed for Odysseus. But I'm gonna stop the video right here. This was just a basic overview of what is possible with Odysseus. And so far, my first impressions are that I'm impressed that PewDiePie was able to make this. Of course, the guy's brilliant, right? Biggest YouTuber for multiple years, consecutive years. And this is a very, very interesting project that he started. And I think since it's open sourced, we're gonna see some versions of this that are gonna be even better than the stock right out of the box version that we're seeing right here. So some modified versions of Odysseus that are able to completely automate a lot of tasks, because it does have prompt injection. It has access to your work computer, so all your different things on your computer. If you want to organize your desktop or delete some files or add some new files or make some folders and so on, it has control over some MCPs that allow it to access your computer. And yeah, since it already has built-in task managers, a to-do list, a library, a calendar, I think it's a very promising environment to host a personal assistant. And yes, of course, it's not an application that you click on. You would have to run it every single time you open your computer using a terminal because it's running on a server. So you would have to have the bash somewhere saved, and then you can copy and paste it. Or you can use Apple shortcuts, and you can actually create a little icon for it. I might do that in a later video, and where I show you how to create a little icon for Odysseus. You just click on it, server automatically runs, and it automatically opens your browser. So if you have any questions, I'm not a professional on Odysseus, but I would really like to see some conversations of what you think about Odysseus and what do you think about harnesses in general. So leave that in the comment section down below, and I hope you enjoyed this video.